Check it out, guys. I have my hands on another moped style e-bike. It's by Actbest. It's called the Super X. And today we're going to find out what's super about it. So let's get into it. When it comes to the assembly of this bike, you're going to find it to be very easy, and it's something that you can do yourself. Now, your Super X is going to arrive as a Class 3 e-bike, which means it should get up to 28 miles an hour via this half twist throttle here on your right-hand side, your cadence sensor, and your 5 levels of pedal assist. This bike weighs 85 pounds, but has a maximum payload of 360 pounds. And during the making of this video, you can purchase this bike for $15.99, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. The Super X only comes in this version right here. And Actbest says that the Super X's average rider height starts at 5'3" and goes all the way up to 6'6". It does only come in this color black, and it will come with this monster sticker here on the side. That thing is huge. It is insane. But there is no doubt you're going to see that it's an Actbest bike when it's cruising down the road. Now, they do say that the Super X will go up to 45 to 70 miles on a single battery charge. Well, we're not going to get anywhere near that kind of mileage with the abuse that I'm going to be putting this bike through today. It has a 48 volt, 750 watt brushless rear hub motor. It has a peak power of 1500 watts and 80 Newton meters of torque. It has a 7-speed transmission, a Shimano tourney derailleur, a derailleur guard, and the standard 7-speed Shimano thumb shifter. For stopping power, you have non-branded 2-piston hydraulic brakes and 160 millimeter rotors. It has double crown hydraulic forks on the front. It has 60 millimeters of travel, and you cannot make any adjustments to it at all. It has an adjustable rear shock that has 40 millimeters of travel. It has 20 by 4-inch Akia tires. They have a medium mountain bike pattern on them, and they are puncture resistant. This is your battery right here. It is mounted onto the frame. It's a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hours with 748 watt hours of power. Now, it is going to come with a 2 amp charger, which means that you can charge the bike up in about 7.5 to 8 hours. It has an on and off switch right here. And when charging the bike, well, you're going to use this little charging port right here. Now, you can do it while it's on the bike, or you can take the battery off and charge it somewhere else. When it comes to removing the battery, you're going to take one of your 2 keys that's going to come with the bike. You're going to put it right there in the keyhole. You're going to turn it forward, and now the battery should just push right on out. You might have to push it a little bit hard to get there. At the top of the battery, you have that battery indicator right here. Oh, it's not going to show because I had the battery turned off. There we go. Turn it on, and now you can see that the battery has full power. To put it back on, you're just going to line these up, click it back on, turn your key, and you're good to go. The Super X has a UL certification of 2849. It also has an IPX rating of 5.4, which means that the bike is protected from limited amounts of dust and water sprays from any direction. Additional features include plastic fenders, plastic pedals, a double chainring guard, an elongated super padded seat, and a mounting point for accessories. There are a couple of options that you can purchase to go with this bike. One is a rack that'll go here on the back, and it can hold up to 120 pounds. Another one is rear pegs that can be mounted right there. Let's talk size and fit. Now, overall, the bike is 66.9 inches long, and the seat height is 32.3 inches. There's not a whole lot of adjustments that you can do with this bike besides moving these handlebars back and forth. Now, I am 225 pounds. I am 5'9". I have a 32-inch inseam, and this is what I'm going to look like when I'm riding the bike. Since it is a full suspension, well, it's going to bounce around. Now, if you are a heavier rider, you can make adjustments to this back shock here to provide you with more support. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have this grip right here. It is a hard rubber. It does have a palm rest right here. This is your front brake lever. This is your headlight and horn, and this is your control panel. To turn the bike on, we first must turn on the battery. Once that's on, we're just going to go ahead and hit the M button until your display lights up. The display is black and white. Up here you have your battery bar. Then you have your speedometer. This shows you what pedal assist level you're in. And this shows you the odometer. You can bounce through the various sections here by hitting the M button real quick. It's going to show you your average speed, trip distance, max speed, trip B, and your overall odometer. To go up in pedal assist levels, you're just going to hit your plus button right here. As you can see, it takes you all the way from 1 to 5, and then you can use your minus button down here to take you all the way down to 0. This is your headlight button. You're just going to push that real quick to turn your headlight on, and to turn it off, you're just going to push it again. It also has an electronic horn. Man, that is incredibly loud. This is your headlight. It has a cool halo that goes around it and that big spotlight in the middle. I do like these bigger headlights on these bikes. When your headlight is on, a tail light comes on. It's tiny, but it seems to be bright. This is what it looks like when you hit your brake lights. And then whenever your headlight is turned off, your brake light still lights up. On your right-hand side, you have your half twist throttle right here. This is your rear brake lever, and this is your gear shifter. Now for this, to go down in gear, you're just going to use your thumb to push this lever, and then to go up in gear, you're going to push the button. Let's hop into your advanced settings. Now to clear your trip mileage, we're going to hit the M and the minus button together, and as you can see, it just cleared out your trip. To go further into advanced settings, we're going to hit the plus and minus button, and that takes you into your P01. This is the brightness of your screen. You have 3 different levels, so we're just going to keep it at number 3. Then you're going to hit your M button to bounce to number 2, which takes you into miles or kilometers. We're just going to leave that and go into number 3. P04 says how long the bike is going to stay idle before it falls asleep and turns off. And then P1, this actually clears the entire odometer. We don't want to do that, so we're just going to go ahead, and if you let the screen rest, it takes you right back to the main screen area. It is time to get this bike out on the road and see how it performs. We are on the 606 trail here in Chicago. This is where I start off all my reviews and hopefully normally end them here as well. Now we are in pedal assist 0 right now, and you know, we're not getting any assist to the bike, so if I twist the throttle, we get nothing. Also, it is not providing any pedal assist. So right now we're cruising at 11 miles an hour. Now these bikes aren't comfortable for a guy like me to ride, to be pedaling, and I really don't believe bikes like these are designed to be pedaled a lot. So most of the amount of time that I spend on this bike will be throttle only, and will only pedal when I have to. Let's go ahead and test out the throttle on this bike. I did put it into pedal assist 1, and I can tell you that this bike has a very active cruise control system on it, which means after you have twisted the throttle back to 5 for 5 seconds, it's going to automatically hold, and now the bike is heading on a steady speed without my hand being on it. Right now, pedal assist number 1 is going to have you at 9 miles an hour. Let's go for number 2, and I still have the cruise on, and I just hit the button for number 2, and it launched us up to 13 miles an hour. Let's try 3. 17 miles an hour will be what your speed is on pedal assist number 3. Let's try 4. 21 miles an hour will be on pedal assist number 4. Let's go for 5. And in pedal assist number 5, you're doing 28 miles an hour. Now we're going to test out the pedal assist. We're not going to use throttle on any of this. We're just going to pedal along. Now the cruise control doesn't work if you're using pedal assist. You have to be using your throttle to get it to hold. And in pedal assist number 1, just like with the throttle, we're cruising at 9 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and go for 2. Doing 13 miles an hour in pedal assist 2. Let's try 3. In pedal assist 3, we're doing 16 miles an hour, but I am at the verge of ghost pedaling. So let's try 4. 20 miles an hour in pedal assist number 4. Let's see what 5 does. And 28 miles an hour in pedal assist number 5. I was ghost pedaling from 4 to 5. And if you don't know what ghost pedaling is, that means when you cannot keep up pedaling with the speed of the bike. So whenever that happens, you just slow down your cadence, and then the bike will do the work for you. Normally when it comes to me doing these reviews, the tires, I don't normally fill the tires all the way up. Now this bike, since it is full suspension, well, I went ahead and put these tires all the way up to 30 PSI. Normally when I don't put them all the way up, that's so that I get some extra cushion and suspension, but this is a full suspension bike, so let's go ahead and just have them at full. I do think that this bike kicks up speed pretty quick. We'll go ahead and test that here in a little bit. Right now, I want to take it off-road and do some hill climbing. Here we go for our off-road portion of the test. I'm leaning a little bit farther back. Oh, there we go. Oh gosh, that was hitting hard. Oh, yeah, oh, there we go. I got the front tire off. Man, I can tell that these forks are not happy that we're doing this, but we are just cruising right along. I mean, we are hauling and it feels like, I mean, everything's under control. We're rattling around a little bit, but I'm definitely, oh, there we go. Definitely glad it's a full suspension bike. I mean, you could take this bike off-road. There's no way I would want to hit any like single tracks with it, but like farm trails or fire trails and like any kind of dirt area would be fine for a bike like this. It is time for the hill climb. I went ahead and put it into pedal assist number 5. We're gonna do throttle first. We're gonna see how it handles this hill. This hill has between an 18 and then it goes up to a 20% grade. So here we go, and let's see how this bike does. And I mean, since it does kick off pretty quick, you know, you feel like it is going to have the amount of power. Now, we're only doing about 8 miles an hour, but I do feel confident that this bike stayed that consistent 8 miles an hour and had no issues climbing up. Now we're going to go ahead and use pedal assist only. We're still in pedal assist number 5. I put it down into gear 3, and let's see how it handles. Now, I'm putting very little effort, and yeah, this thing took right off with well within doing a full crank, and now we're just climbing up this hill, no problem. Try to see if I get my front wheel off the ground. We're going a little bit faster. Made it up at 9 miles an hour. Everything felt controlled super easy. So whether you're using throttle or whether you are using pedal assist, you're gonna have no issues climbing up a hill like this. We're gonna head over here and do the sand test while we go ahead and do the distance test. If we don't have a whole lot of battery by the time we make it to Lakeshore Trail, we'll still have the sand test. Plus, I like the sand that is over here because it doesn't seem to ever really pack down. For this sand test, we got it in pedal assist number 5. I'm going to use throttle. I still have it in a low gear to kind of help me pedal. I expect this bike to do very well in the sand. Now, I do have these tires filled all the way up. Normally, if you were going to spend a lot of time on the beach, you would lower the air pressure in these tires, but we're just going to go ahead and give it a shot and see how it does. Oh, man, this thing wants to go right through. I don't even have to pedal. Like, it just wants to go ahead and just get down to it. But I'm trying to see if I can do it without pedaling, because it does help me with the balance. This thing is no problem. This thing just likes to just munch itself right through the sand. Oh, all right, we're gonna pedal a little bit. There we go. So I think this bike did excellent in the sand. Like, you could definitely, you know, get to the beach, and you could 100% get through the beach as well. All right, guys, we are doing the brake test. We're gonna go as fast as we can, slam on the brakes, and see how it does. Wow, this thing actually stopped pretty quick. How can that be? We were hauling. We stopped in 29 feet. That is excellent. This has me totally wondering, so we're gonna do it again just to see how it goes. That's like 32 feet. So the last one was 29. This is 32. This bike stops. This bike stops. We are downtown in the big city of Chicago. Let's go. It looks like we have burnt up half the battery already, but it comes from the other direction. So normally you see it dropping from right to left, but this one does left to right. So I've been hearing some clanking, and then I realized it's this chain hitting the side right here. So there is nothing to protect this paint. So you either want to like take out a link or two, or you want to put something right here on the frame so it'll keep it from clanking whenever you're riding. Let's check out the display versus the GPS. Now, right now it's showing that we're at like 16.9, 17 miles an hour, and this is showing 17, so it's not off by very far at all. I would say that's close enough for it to count. We are gonna go ahead and see how fast we can get from 0 to top speed using throttle only. Let's go. I went ahead and turned around. I was riding into the wind, didn't figure that would be fair for this bike, so we now have the wind at our back. And there it is. Ooh, we hit 28. Can we get 29? No, 28.8 is gonna be the fastest we can go with throttle only. Now we're gonna do the same thing using pedal assist, and we have it down into gear 4, pedal assist 5. Let's go. Oh yeah, we're picking up quick. Woo! Since we have the wind at our back, well, we might as well just go ahead and start heading the other way. It does show that we have about half the battery power that we have. Not sure I'm a huge fan of just the check marks, the tick marks for showing the battery power, but you work with what you got. And if you're wondering what you look like riding this bike while it's on the road, well, this is what you look like. This is another beautiful day to be out riding in the city. I think the high is about 75 degrees or maybe even 80. I don't know, got a great breeze going, feels good. This is what's super fun about my job, is that I am always out here just riding around like a 13-year-old boy, making videos for you. There are all of these interesting places here that I always just like to cruise out to every now and again, just to get these different views of the city. I am super happy with how this bike rides. The seat's very comfortable. The grips and the handlebars are right in the right spot. Even though my knees are kind of up, I'm sitting straight up and down, so I'm super comfortable, which is nice if you're gonna be riding on a bike like this for very long distances. All right, we have dropped down in battery level, so now we're gonna be heading home because I'm not really sure how much battery power I have. I have 3 long bars with 2 other short bars in between. Either way, it looks like we are definitely lower than half of what we started with on this battery. Try to get there we go. Get the front tire below it. Yeah. Probably just doing more damage to the battery and just draining it even faster. I kicked it down into pedal assist number 3. That way I can get some more distance out of this battery. I'm not sure how far we can go, to be honest, and I want to make sure that if I run out, I'm closer to home. Let's check out the walk feature on this bike. I have gone and put it into pedal assist 0. We're going to hold down the minus button and see if it's going to help us make it up the hill. And it is. It's not very strong, but it's working. I don't know if you can see the little guy flashing, showing that we are in walk mode, but we're not even going fast enough to register like any speed. Oh, I was wrong. We got 1 mile an hour. It didn't mention anything in the manual that it had the walk feature, so I'm glad we were able to test it out, and also glad to know that it has one. This area right here is rough. And although the full suspension definitely helped, these front forks are not the smoothest. I mean, they have a lot of weight to them, and you only have 60 millimeters of travel. So there's been a couple times during this review that I've bottomed out on them. I am back on the 606, which means I am 3.3 miles from the house. We've already dropped down to what I believe is our last bar, because these little indicators do not disappear one at a time. You just lose one big chunk at once. I think Actbest made a mistake by making this decal so big. I think because of that, a lot of people are going to be taking this decal off just because it is so big. The font doesn't even match their font. Here's what they should have done. They should have taken the font that they have, which is a normal lowercase Actbest, made it about that big. Then people would have seen it and they wouldn't be taking off these stickers. But I know they're going to take them off because that is exactly what I would do. And now the only way that you're going to be able to tell this is an Actbest bike is by that right there. And they should have just took this, even that size, and put it on the battery, and people would have been inclined not to remove that one. I have kicked it down into pedal assist number 3 so that I can hopefully make it to the end. I am really enjoying the cruise control on this bike though. I feel the horn is aggressive, but I mean, it's loud, but it's not too freakishly loud. I always feel it is more polite to have a bell than a horn, but I do like the fact that these horns are just super easy to get to as opposed to possibly a bell. They just sound a little bit more aggressive than a bell. We have now lost all of our bars and it's just doing the flashing part right here. So it is giving you some kind of warning that, hey, we're probably down to our last 5% of battery at this very low battery level. All we're doing is just slowing down. It's not pulsing or giving us partial power or anything like that. Actually, I'm going to start putting it down into gear so I can help it move along a little bit. I'm still about a half a mile from the house and I want to see if I can make it by giving it some assist. That chain does like to smack against the frame. That's a little annoying, but I've already showed you guys on how we could solve that. You guys can see how high my knees are coming up. If you were a taller rider, holy cow, your knees are going to be coming up super, super high. Don't forget, I'm only 5'9". So just seeing how high my knees come up kind of gives you an idea. Luckily though, this bike is not uncomfortable to pedal. Now I haven't lost all power, but and it is providing some assist. So I am glad about that. And it looks like we are going to make it to the house before I completely run out of power. So I'm going to give that a thumbs up. I made it home and the battery was providing very little power by the time I made it, but that was totally fine for me. That means that I feel like I've gone like the actual distance of this bike. Now, when it comes to distance, well, if you take a look at the display shows that we went 23.7 miles. But if you look at Strava, Strava shows that we went 25.41. Now, with that being said, well, of course, I'm going to give it to Strava because Strava has been tried and true when it comes to me doing these reviews and it comes to the distance. So just know that you're going to go, well, actually a couple miles farther than what this display is going to show. Now, when it came to the things that I like about this bike, it was super comfortable. The seat worked out really well. Wasn't bad to pedal, which is not something that I say for, well, all or well, very few moped-style e-bikes. This thing is a beast in the sand. It goes very well up hills, and the cruise control makes it very comfortable to go on a long ride. Now, when it comes to things that I think need to be improved, well, this chain smacking the side of this frame is going to definitely leave a mark. We have to put some kind of a felt on there or something, and that will stop it from clanking, or you can take a link or two out of this, because look, this chain looks extremely loose. I don't know, that's just one of the things that I think they need to change. Another thing is this needs to be a lot smaller. This logo right here, if they made it a lot smaller, you wouldn't be compelled to take it off. But I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to remove the Actbest sign on there, and the only way you're going to see their logo is from this small logo over here on the shroud that does the cable management. I almost forgot even how to say that or what to call that. But really, I think this is a solid moped style e-bike. I would put it over some of them that I have reviewed. I mean, I think that if you're looking for a solid, good, I believe this feels like this bike is going to be dependable as well. I don't really know because we've just taken it out for its first ride, but I do feel like it has the quality parts in it that will keep you on the road for quite a while. And if you are interested in the Actbest Super X, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. If I have a discount code, I'm going to throw that down there as well. And also, if you find value in any of my videos, I'm going to ask that you either like or subscribe or something like that. You don't have to, you can if you want. And that helps me keep bringing videos to you. But that's it. That's all I have on the Actbest Super X. And I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you again, enjoy the ride. I mean, Pepper agrees, isn't that right? That's what I thought. She's from HR. She's making sure that I'm doing my job right.